Welcome to the beautiful landscapes of Ireland. On today's video, we take you on the Glendaloch White route hike. This hike takes place in County Wicklow, which is just south of County Dublin. Glendalough is the valley of two lakes. So we have the lower lake and the upper lake. So today's hike is going to be around the upper lake.
Yeah, and so there are three car park areas. We took the one at the upper lake because all of the strenuous trails that go around Glendalough start and end there. You can access all three of them from there. You do want to get there early. The hours are going to be seasonal, of course. We got there about 20 minutes after the park opened. I was worried that we might be running across large crowds, and it actually did not happen. We were one of the few cars there. It was much more crowded later in the day, so definitely get there early.
We got there at about 8:20.
Yeah, and it opened at 8. So it's €4 for a car to park in the lot. You just pay, gate opens, you go in. They don't have a slip of paper or anything, so it's pretty straightforward. Now, one thing I'm going to include at the very end of this video is a map of the park and all the trails around. I did not have that until the end. I couldn't find one online. And I didn't know there were available maps at the start either, and so I talked to a gentleman who was a local for a few minutes before we started. But there are some food trucks at one end of the parking lot, and they weren't open yet, but there were tables out there where you sit to eat, and the tabletops, some of them actually had full park maps on them, so I took a screenshot. So if we ever make it back there, now we know what we're doing. So I recommend going over to get that to start with.
So just so you know, as you park, there are going to be restrooms there. Definitely make a restroom break. And then you're also going to see the food trucks on your left. So just know that after your hike, you can have a nice lunch. They have hamburgers, hot dogs, coffees, drinks, ice cream, and so forth.
Yes, and we definitely took advantage of that after we were done with our multi-hour hike. So there are three strenuous trails out there I mentioned before. The white one is the one we chose. It was kind of the middle distance of the three. It was 9.5 kilometers. So it was Bridget, myself, and we had our little dog Max that we're pet sitting right now while we're in Ireland. But the blue route is much shorter, and then the red route is a good bit longer. So we just chose the one in the middle, but we did want to go for a strenuous hike. So as far as footwear, the trail looks pretty docile right now. It's just kind of gravel. It was asphalt to start with. But yeah, as you'll see in the video, you definitely want to have good footwear, so running shoes or hiking boots.
Or trail. I was wearing trail running shoes, yeah. and they were pretty good.
Yeah.
So here you can see we're actually going through the iconic ruins on this hike. This was what was it? Like a mine?
It was a mining community, and honestly, I don't recall looking to see what they did mine there, but it was an old mining town, so these are ruins from back in the days where they did mine, and I don't think it made it into the video, but there was a machine that looked like it might have been a conveyor that lowered people down underground off to the side.
And we probably should mention that the time of this hike is beginning of August, so we're in the summer months of Ireland. So it did get hot throughout the day, but definitely wear layers as well. So we started off with our jackets on, and then we certainly took them off. In this area here, this is a great little place just to take a little water break. We actually got Max in the water a little bit over here, and we just had a snack here. So this is probably getting close to the halfway point, I'd say.
Yeah, this is the stream and the little waterfalls up top that feed down into the lake and create the valley down below. And you'll see that in some pictures here in the future. It's a nice shot of the waterfall there.
We should also mention that when we started this hike, so we went to the right. So we went counterclockwise around. Probably having done the whole hike, I'd say it was the easier way to do it, because we start off, if you go the other way, you're climbing, like you're going quite steep uphill, versus going this way, we were able to end the hike going downhill.
Yeah, it was a much more gradual up. There were switchbacks both ways, but you do a gradual climb up here, so probably 2/3 of the climb, the way we did it this way, was uphill, and then the last 1/3 was downhill. So it was much more gradual of a climb this way. So if you want a real challenge, go clockwise, but if you want to do it like we did and make it a little easier on yourself, you can go counterclockwise.
The trail is very well marked, so if you do this one, just follow the white markings, and then as you can tell here, it's been man-made, so it's very easy to follow.
Yeah, this side apparently, if it's rained, it's very messy. There were muddy areas, and here we see some deer off in the distance. There were a couple of beautiful stags that we saw on this part of. We're on the opposite side now.
There are goats out here as well, probably.
Yeah, we're on the south side of the lake now, kind of going back around. So you see the two lakes there. Our car was parked in between them, and so that's a view of the trail that we went at the beginning, way down below.
Here, because we're up top here, we're not sheltered, so it was a little windy here. Also, because we left early in the morning, we didn't have many other hikers on the trail with us. As we're getting more into the day, we'll start seeing a few more hikers, as we can see here.
Yeah, we definitely came across a lot of people, so if you like crowds, go later, and if you like to fight parking, go later. But otherwise, if you're like us and you just want to have a lot of trail to yourself, then go earlier. This little stretch here was the blue route. We did not actually take it. It was off from the white route. Both the red and blue routes take off from the white route loop. So this was the blue route. I went down here just a little bit for the shot just because it was almost like an enchanted forest. It was just sort of idyllic with all the trees and the shelter there. So this was the new set of switchbacks, almost to them. This is where the man-made wooden planks portion of the trail turned into dirt and rocks again. And so there was a good stretch of the trail through the bog area up top where you saw earlier we were walking on wooden planks.
Such incredible scenery, just so green, and we got some beautiful pictures. Really hard to take a bad picture in Ireland, isn't it?
It's really hard to take a bad picture in Ireland, yes. So this is a view of the switchbacks going down. Apparently these are pretty new. I think in the last couple of years it used to be just a set of steps that went all the way up. I read that. So people were excited when they made these switchbacks because it was a whole lot harder than it became after these switchbacks were made.
Yeah, so this is as actually we're getting to the close of the hike. So we go down these switchbacks, and then just as you finish out, make sure there is a little trail that goes down to a waterfall. So I guess some people start the hike with the waterfall, and then we ended the hike with the waterfall.
This is the waterfall, Polinace. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, it's clearly marked. But yeah, like Bridget said earlier, the trail is clearly marked. You got different arrow colors as you go. So hopefully you enjoyed this video.
Thank you for joining us.